Everyone, hi. Well, I promised a number of people to do a series on FAQ to talk more about who I am, what I do, why and how I got to know about Fintoch, and why I came in so strongly on the investment platform. Okay, and if possible, I will also tackle a few other questions that I'm frequently asked right now. In fact, currently, I'm in France. I'm in the vehicle going towards the airport. Very soon, I'm going to embark on an almost 20 hours flight back to Singapore. In between, I will be transiting at Frankfurt. But anyway, I'm seizing this car ride time to jump on this recording so that I can finally get this video out of the way and to deliver my promise to quite a number of people. Okay, first and foremost, personally, I hold a full-time job. Okay, I don't work for Fintoch. I am not a salaried staff with Fintoch. With Fintoch, I am really an investor. Okay, I, like you, like everybody else, is just seizing on this opportunity, which I see as once in a lifetime, to jump on this opportunity to grow my finances, to grow my wealth. Okay, so once again, I am not a Fintoch employee. Okay, on the other hand, I am a full-time employee. I work for a media group. I create content, as in my company creates content, as in TV shows, mostly for children. It's animation, and I distribute the rights. And I also represent other content creators who are producers, who produce movies, dramas, documentaries, even sports programs from all over the world. I represent them and I market their shows and sell their shows and monetize their shows to TV broadcasters and digital platform buyers. Okay, so a simple one-liner is that I work in the TV, media and entertainment industry. Right, so that's what I do. And how I got to know about Fintoch. Actually, end of 2022, a good friend of mine mentioned to me that he has been presented two investment opportunities, and he asked me if I could assist him to evaluate these two companies and to see which is good for him to put his funds, to put his money in. So he told me one company, he says the first company is 1% profit on capital per day. Another company is 16.6% profit per month. So my immediate response is, brother, the first option, 1% profit on your capital per day. I said, and that's 30% a month. That's 365% a year. Come on. I said, this is impossible. All right, don't even bother about this. This is just not possible, not sustainable. That was my immediate response. And then I said, brother, what about the second company? You said 16.6% profit on your capital per month. I said, how do they generate the money? I said, maybe this one can consider. That's what I said. So he says, no, please, why don't you go and hear it out, this opportunity on the second company then? So I said, okay, I don't mind, just to help you out, to see if it is worth for you to put your money. So I went and I listened. They showed me fancy videos, PowerPoint presentations. They talked and talked, but I caught no ball. I couldn't see where the business plan or how they could generate that 16.6%. I just didn't feel right. Okay, but yet other people seem to be really excited on the opportunity. So I say, what am I missing here? Maybe something wrong with me. Why don't I see it? And so I went a second day to hear out another talk on the same company, and the outcome was the same. And I said, but what's wrong? And I said, okay, for the last time, third day, I would listen for the last time. And after the third day, the outcome was the same. I still couldn't see where so good the opportunity was. I didn't feel that they were able to sustain this 16.6% profit a month, okay? And so I told this brother of mine, I call him brother as in just a good friend, I said, brother, forget it, I don't know, I'm not seeing anything. Maybe I'm not a good advisor to you anyway, so I don't see why you should put money in anywhere. And then he told me, hey, sister, he also calls me sister as a good friend, right? He says, sister, this first company, that 1% profit per day, you know what, the friend who referred me, she has shown me that in her account she has already doubled up her capital investment, and I could see it for myself. And then I said, really? Okay. Then I said, where is this place? So he says the location, and I said, wow, that's perfect because it's like a stone's throw from my home. I said, okay, I don't mind going down to just to see what it is and to advise you. That was what I said. And on that day, by then, it was the 31st of December 2022. So that said, I went down, and as I went down into the office, they happened to be talking halfway, giving a short presentation, and I sat in it and I listened for barely 20 minutes, and I was like, bingo. I got so excited. I said, wow, I was fascinated by the business plan and what I saw in terms of the company's potential. And I could see why they were able to generate that 1% profit on capital per day. And I could see why it is sustainable. Okay, and they didn't even show me any fancy videos, nothing. It was just a whiteboard introduction and just some scribbling and mathematics on the whiteboard, and I was like, my eyes lit up and the bulb light up and I was like, bingo, this is really a great opportunity. And I got so excited. And so I told this brother of mine, and I said, hey brother, this company you must seriously consider. And in fact, now I'm also seriously considered. Okay. And let me give you a little bit of background about myself as far as investment is concerned. Frankly speaking, about 5 years ago, I lost a lot of money. I lost around 400,000 US dollar, and it was not through any, not through, it's through forex exchange. It's not through any scam or what you call it. No, it wasn't anything like that. It was legitimately that I actually went into trading through a friend using his software, and we were pairing US dollar against pounds. It was a legitimate way of forex transactions, forex trading. And it was also not my friend's fault, but what happened was just really bad timing, because at that time the Prime Minister was Theresa May, around 4 or 5 years ago, and she commented on some things about Brexit, okay, and that comment impacted so greatly on pounds that pounds fell 600 points, which never ever happened before. And with that, I saw all my 4 accounts, each holding like 100,000 US dollar, being wiped out totally because pounds dropped a steep decline of 600 points and totally wiped out my trades. Okay, and it was really traumatic. In fact, I was really in depression. It put me in a very bad financial state. It wiped out all my savings, and in fact, it actually caused me to be in debt. Okay, because part of that money was from banks. I was supposed to go and acquire some property overseas, so that money I diverted into this investment, and that caused me to be in debt, right? So as you can imagine, after that, for the next few years, to the next 4 to 5 years, anything, even investment, this word investment is like taboo word. It would cause shivers down my spine, right? So I never expected that I would even want to dabble in anything investments, okay? But anyway, in those few years, how did I survive is because I learned to accept that, this is perhaps a lesson in life for me. And though it was a financial setback, I would say that it is also a spiritual awakening for myself. So going through a crisis like that brought me surprisingly closer to my faith, to God, So I felt like somehow, it was something that I had to go through, and spiritually, as well as mentally and physically, it made me a much stronger person, right? So I took it as this is tuition fee for my life. And finally, after a few years, I learned how to let go and also to accept this fact and to write off that amount. Okay, but surprisingly, after about 4 or 5 years, these few years I told you I just labored on, and I just didn't talk about using money to grow money anymore. And surprisingly, at the end of that period, about 4 or 5 years, when I look up my bank account, it's like, where did all this money come from? By grace of God, I still have a substantial savings after all. I managed to survive through. I wouldn't say that I'm totally out of the woods, but I think I have like 3/4 foot out of the woods, right? And so I'm like very grateful that I do still have some savings. And so the point is, when this Fintoch opportunity came, and when I saw that this 1% profit on capital per day, I was blown away, and I felt like perhaps this is also God's opportunity for me to restore the finances that I had lost. And it's, as you can imagine, a huge amount. And how else am I to just keep on laboring and working to use my time and energy in exchange to restore this 400,000? Plus, which other investment or savings opportunity can help me to restore such a huge amount? And I don't know about the banks overseas, but I come from Singapore. Banks are traditional banks, right? The savings interest is like very meager. It's like 1 or 1.2%, I think, over a whole year, over a whole annum, per annum. Okay, and what I know is that for fixed deposit in Singapore, the highest I know is 4.2% per annum, and on conditions that you deposit something like 250,000 Singapore dollars, and hold it and lock in for 12 months, only then the banks will give you a 4.2% interest rates per annum. And so when this opportunity of 1% profit on your capital per day came, and when I was not just attracted about this, right? But the important thing is, was it sustainable? And when I saw the business plan and I saw that, hey, this all makes sense, it ties up, that got me truly, really excited. And therefore, as I said, on 31st of December, I was, I gave myself the opportunity to hear it out, literally, really to help that brother of mine. But when I saw that spark, right, I told him, this is really the company I think that is great to invest in. And I myself couldn't sleep the whole night. I was just like, wow, maybe this is also an opportunity I should grab for myself. Perhaps this is an open door from the Lord to grant me this opportunity to restore. And so, without sleeping a wink that night, I did a lot of research on the company, on Fintoch. At the same time, I also did research on the other company, the other one that's 16.6% per month one. The more I research, the more I'm convinced that Fintoch is the right one, okay? The more I feel the surety. And as a result, on the very next day, on 1st of January, I immediately contacted the lady, who now is my upline, and her name is Sandy. So I contacted Sandy and I said, Sandy, I know today is New Year's Day, it's the 1st of January, but I would really like to meet you, and I would really like to start a deposit for myself. And thank goodness that these are decentralized finance, DeFi. And so it does not matter even if it is a New Year's Day. We are not subject to banking hours or opening hours or public holidays closure. No. So it's literally 24/7, as and when, anytime can enter. Okay. And so as a result, I contacted her and I met her on 1st of January, and immediately I started my own investment of $50,000 US. Hi, so as I was saying that, so I went and met with Sandy on the 1st of January, and I say, please, I would like to invest $50,000 US. Can you guide me how to get it started? And how do I transfer and how do I get the USDT? Because what I'm having is Singapore dollars. And so she says, okay, she will gather the equivalent amount of USDT for me, because a lot of these people who have invested sometime in Fintoch, many of them, they get daily profits, right? So many of them have quite a lot of USDT to be frank, a lot of them get a lot of USDT every day, and so they are able to aggregate and to consolidate an amount such as 50,000 USDT immediately for me. And so they calculated what is the equivalent in terms of Singapore dollars. All right. And so what I did was I transferred peer-to-peer, which is the most direct and easy and fast way, and it's also trustworthy way, because I know who I am transferring the Singapore dollars to, and I know that they are reliable and they will definitely give me the USDT. So I banked in from my account the equivalent of 50,000 US dollar, which comes to close to like 70,000 Singapore dollars. Okay, so I bank in 70,000 Singapore dollars through bank to the person who has the USDT, and in this case is my upline. Okay, and then I bank it to her, and then she consolidated the USDT for me, and then with my wallets that are being set up, then she gets a receive USDT BEP20 link from my wallets that I set up. Then she transfer the 50,000 USDT digitally directly into my wallet. Okay, it sounds simple, but the process is slightly cumbersome in the sense that it is like that, a peer-to-peer. So I gather my Singapore dollars, which is, we call it fiat money, and from the bank I transfer to my upline, and then my upline transfers the digital currency into my digital wallets, which are set up under Fintoch platform. Alright, and then from there, from one wallet, then I start funding all my different wallets. But before that, I would have to first buy BNB, which is the gas fee, because without the gas fee, you cannot move the cryptocurrencies around. All right, so this is the process that I did for myself. Yeah, and also because once I come in with 50,000 USD, that, and then I immediately can achieve the ranking of being a general manager in Fintoch, which is a GM level. Okay, so my uplines are fantastic, and thanks to them I learned from the best, and now I can also transfer my learnings back to my people who are under my network, who are my followers. See, so when I came in with 50,000 USDT, they guided me how to structure my accounts, layering all my accounts, and building my accounts strategically, cleverly, in order to leverage on all the referral commission schemes from the company, as well as the revenue share from the company, as well as the benefits of attaining ranking. Okay, all these I won't go into details, but I'm just sharing with you. I have other videos that actually support what I'm saying. All right, but really, this is the process. Okay, and so with the wonderful guidance, I was able to structure my multiple wallets and multiple accounts correctly right from the start, so that once the foundation is built correctly, subsequently it is easy to just build onto the foundation. Okay, and so with their guidance, I had all my wallets set up. With the help, I was able to change my Singapore dollars into USDT BEP20, and with the guidance, they guided me how to disseminate the funds and how to get BNB by swapping and etc., and how to learn the application, the features. And so this was how I started for myself. All right, and this was on the 1st of January 2023. And with that 50,000 investment, I put it in on the 1st of January, and within the 24 hours, immediately I saw my first 1% profit on my capital. Okay, and then every day, on the dot, every 24 hours, I receive my 1% profit. On top of that, because I shared with you, right, that I became a GM immediately, I could still even further enjoy a further 20% profit. I mean, a further 20% revenue share, which is a 20% on the overall profit of all of my 50,000. And so that's an additional something like an additional an additional 100 USDT profit, So I was earning profit upon profit because of the way I structure it. And so I was pretty happy and impressed and amazed, and then I felt, and I analyzed it. I said to myself that really this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. All right, and I could see the potential of the company. I could see the plans that they have upcoming. I hear about all the marketing plans. I could see the marvelous application that they have created, and I understand the business plan of how they do the lending and how they do the borrowing, and how when people borrow, how the company even makes sure that the borrowers will not lose on a bad trading day. Okay, actually on most trading days it's pretty good. And we could actually see on the application that most of the traders can get like double-digit percentage profits, and that's why for them to borrow at 2% or 2.5% and to do profit margin leveraging trading actually makes a lot of sense for the borrowers, because they can easily make back that interest that they pay. Okay, but still, not everything, not every day is profitable, right? Maybe on some days it may be a bad trading day, and on bad trading days, Fintoch app is marvelous. They have a stop loss auto mechanism that will kick in for the borrowers, which means that at no point they can ever lose all of their capital plus the money that they borrow. You understand? And this is the safeguard mechanism that the Fintoch app has to guarantee and to protect the lenders like us, the investors, that no matter what, the borrowers will always have enough funds in their wallet to pay back the capital as well as to pay for the profits. I mean, to pay back they definitely have enough funds to pay back to Fintoch, the platform. And therefore, the Fintoch, the platform, as a company, they always will have that 1% amount to pay back to the investors every day. So this is the part of the business plan that really, amazes me how clever the planning is. And that's why I felt so comforted and I was so confident to come in. You see, and one more thing I just want to add, the borrowers, when they borrow the money from Fintoch, they can only trade within the Fintoch platform. They cannot borrow the USDT, have a margin in the borrowing and then take out this USDT or whatever that they borrow to trade in other platforms. They can't. It's all within the control and the platform, so that at any time, if they ever make any losses, that the stop loss mechanism will automatically kick in. That's why, the borrowers are protected, the lenders are protected, the company is protected. So this is the thing that really fascinated me, okay? And the other thing I asked myself, I said, exactly how much risk am I exposed to? Firstly, the capital lock-in period is only 7 days. After 7 days, you can choose to even stop the reinvestment and withdraw your capital fully. And when you withdraw your capital, they withdraw. You can redeem. The word is redeem. You can redeem your capital, and you can redeem your capital fully, 100%, not a single deduction. So the risk period really is just 7 days, isn't it? And then profits that they generate 1% per day, that even can be deducted. It can be withdrawn every day. There is no lock-in for the profits. Every day the profits generated, you can still withdraw every day without delay. You see? So I asked myself, what exactly is the risk?